So she's in the laughing, smiling stage. And yeah, just to get to see that laugh, good day, bad day, whatever it may be, allows me to reset and just know that that's where my focus needs to be. And as I said before, just to be intentional with her, and I'm blessed to be able to do that. Yeah, Yeah, I mean, for sure, as I said, I don't think that's pressures or I necessarily worry about the talk. I've got a great team. I'm confident in getting something done, confident in the front office here. Yeah, and I don't really think about it, to be honest with you. As I said, the first day, I'm under contract right now, so all I need to do is be the best that I can be for my job. And this year, and then whatever happens, whether it's in a couple of weeks, who knows when it is, if it does happen, it'll happen. I'm not worried about that. And as I said, I've got people that are handling that with the front office here, and a lot of confidence in it.
Did you call CD? You talk to CD?
Yeah, so my birthday just passed. Got a great, happy birthday message from him, and that led to some talks as well. And yeah, I mean, I know he's just shared with me, right? He's wanting to get back, ready to get back. Hoping that this thing gets done for him. I know I am as well, and hopefully we can get him back sooner than later. But I know he's grinding, I know he's itching and working, and he's ready to be back with the boys.
You said last week that you feel an obligation to other quarterbacks and teammates to accept the deal you eventually accepted. Why do you feel that obligation?
I'm a guy that grew up with two older brothers. You understand what a brotherhood means, not only for just this team, but the fraternity of the NFL and the players, and the money's out there, and the money it can happen, it can be done. There's ways to make everything work for both ways, and that's in that sense is it's always about pushing the envelope for the next man, and that's why I said that. But then again, I've never truly cared about the number, and yeah, whether it was the first time and the franchise tag and negotiations or now. So that's why I said I have an agent that I'm confident in and a front office that we can figure out something that works for both of us and makes sense.
What have you learned about the receivers beyond Cooks and Colbert, guys that you've had work the last couple of years? What have you learned about the guys behind with CD now?
Yeah, they're itching. They're itching for their opportunity. I know when they're getting in that huddle with the ones, they're not only excited for it, but they're taking advantage of it. And the guy that just jumps out top of my mind, obviously, is T. Billy. And just talking to him and Cooper, knowing I have a conversation with them. This is the first time the guys went from a team to having an offseason with that team to carrying into the next season. And I think that pays dividends. And you look out there and you see what he's doing. He's been able to use his speed, somebody that is his strength. But when you're thinking, you can't play fast. And I think he's gotten rid of that thinking part, and he's making big plays time and time again. Cropper as well. Another guy, and then obviously Jalen Brooks, a guy that I threw with a lot in the offseason. Spent a lot of time together, getting a good chemistry. A guy that runs fast, can break down well, in and out of routes, catches the ball. And those are just to name a couple of guys. And then obviously some great tight ends that we've got. Guys are stepping up. They're making sure that I'm looking back at them when it's one-on-one, and that I'm not hesitant to throw them the ball when it's their opportunity.
I think is the way you worded it. It would be just that maybe sometimes in the offseason you might do a little bit too much. How do you guard in the offseason not doing too much when you're working on your offense?
That's who I am. It's a fine line that I'm always towing. But I've got to push it to feel like I'm getting better and I'm making myself better. And so that's just pushing that limit. It's the risk versus reward. And obviously, I think he mentioned Dr. Luke, and so I've got a great guy in him, and just being able to help me balance that, understanding where we are, where we're trying to get to, what days that we can push it, and other days that we can back off. And yeah, and so I mean, it's something that I'm sure I'll tow until I hang up the cleats, and it's because that's the only way that I know to get better. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the guy loves the game, first and foremost, and loves his teammates. You talk about a guy that has energy, natural excitement, joy, and it jumps out and it's contagious, it can start with a guy like that. Then obviously when you're making the plays that he's making, that allows him just even to be more himself. And I think all of that goes into why he's having the camp that he's having, making the plays that he's having, and ready to see it obviously turning in some of these preseason games and him just put his best ball out there. But I think it's a testament, as I said, he had a season with us last year on practice squad. I know we let him go in the back end of the year for numbers and the business of the game, and that's a guy that understands it. And then when we brought him back in the offseason, I just remember the joy that he came in with, and from the first day, catching passes and walk through and doing everything the right way, and all that's just continued to grow into training camp, and that's why he's making these plays. So a guy that really just carries his joy and love for the game, and it's evident in everything that he does. And as I said, it's contagious. So hell of a teammate. Brock's the man. Another guy just talking about loves the game. Brock, it jumps out, and it's in his intensity, it's in his focus, and then it allows the communication to be easier. He's a guy that gets up there, knows his job responsibility, knows the calls, and then from there he's going to jump on them. And if I want to change something, he makes sure it's echoed and communicated to the rest of the guys. But there's just no hesitation in him, and I think that's the time that he spends in studying. It's the time that it's his care for the game and his job responsibility to make sure that he understands that it starts with him and getting us all on the same page. And then if I have to change it, I will. But yeah, that communication being expedited is really a testament to him and him studying, knowing the game, knowing what he's supposed to do, and it makes my job easier. And then if I do need to change something, he's confident that I see what I see and gets the other guys on the page. And it's been awesome. Been awesome to work with him. Excited for him. Unique? I mean, I'm not into the comparison world. I had a great guy the last 4 years or so in Tyler Biotic, hell of a player. And then before that, I mean, I had one of the best centers in the game ever to play in Travis Frederick. So Brock does it his own way, and he does it the right way. And so that's all that really matters. And he's a guy, as I said, once again, the love for the game, the passion. It jumps out. When the moment he starts the huddle, that's contagious. People feel that. And then whether it's a run, the pass, he's a guy that got your back. And I know he's got my back, and not just mine, the other 10 guys and whoever else steps on the field with him. And I'll go to war with him any day, anywhere, anyhow. I mean, it's been a long time, honestly. Probably since college, to be honest with you. And it goes into, I remember being a little kid, and my love for the game has always been very high, and idolized guys that played this game. And I never got to meet pros when I was that young or anything like that. But I think about what if I did, and how would I want that pro to be. And so, and at the end of the day, it's easy, man. Like, it's easier to be nice. It's easier to sign something, to smile. And something so easy, knowing it goes such a long way, as it'd be crazy for me not to be intentional with it and to give these kids my energy and my time for a brief second. As I said, understanding how simple it is for me, but how much it means to them. Got you. Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, we're all here and we all have a job to do, and it's to help one another in that quarterback room. Simple as that, because whoever's in that huddle is the commander of that offense at that time, and so it doesn't really matter how we got here. It's the fact that we're all here together, and we're meant to be here together. And so it's about taking advantage of that and being able to help the man next to you. And we have a great quarterback room. Cooper's obviously helped me for years, 8 years now, and has been a right-hand man for me in this game, and just the mental side of it as well, and me being able to help him with some things physically, and just in the passing game. And then obviously Trey, we're just continuing to try to help a guy that hadn't been able to play a lot of ball, but obviously, as you said, a high pick with tons of talent. And then so we're into the world of sharing our knowledge. It's not like we get in the room and a good play goes on and we don't share why that happened, or a bad play, we don't share the mistakes, because that's what it's about, is us learning, passing that on. As I said, it's only one of us can be in the huddle, so we'd be remiss not to be given all the information that we can to make sure that we're continuing to get better. And as I've always said, when I'm pushing somebody else, I know it's only making me better. So that's the mindset that we go into each and every day in the film room and taking the practice field.
Dave, how would you define or characterize the rapport you have with Jake Ferguson, and based off of what he did in the second season last year, what are the, I hate to say ceiling, but I mean how
Yeah, there's not a ceiling for that guy. Honestly, it's not. And I feel like I keep saying it, and it's good that I keep saying it, because that's the type of people we have, with the type of people that we have. But another guy that loves the game, that takes this job very serious, has a passion for it. His intensity, as you said, you saw it last year in plenty of games. Yeah, just his aggressiveness, the mindset that he has to have, especially at that position. I mean, you're asked to block some of the best athletes in our game, and then to go run routes on safeties and linebackers and cornerbacks, and you're expected to win. And that's a guy that has that mindset to do exactly that, whether it's blocking Michael Parsons, D-Law, or another great end on another team, or if it's going to win a route against Bland, Donovan Wilson, or a DB for somebody in the division. He expects to win every time. And as long as he has that mindset and he continues to grow and communicate, there is no ceiling for the guy. And so blessed to have him. I know he's already been a great tight end for us, but he's going to continue to get better and better and better, and I'm excited about that. Yeah, he's had a hell of a camp, but I mean, obviously he had a hell of a year last year, and the trend's in the same direction to make another jump. And I know in the offseason, working with the O2X guys and just us building and working on our Brotherhood, we had a great conversation about roles, about what individual roles that we have and what they to the team. And I remember he particularly lays out what he thinks his role was, and I just told him, man, your role is to go show that you can be a #1 receiver. At minimal, a #2 receiver. And he's approached this camp with that intensity, with that mindset, and he's made exactly those kind of plays, practice after practice. And I know he's given me tons of confidence in him. I know his confidence is growing, and obviously and the play callers have confidence in him to keep feeding him the ball. And so I'm proud of him, but I'll tell him, I'm sure if he watches this, and I'll tell him to his face, he hasn't done anything yet. Another guy that I'm not going to put a ceiling on what his potential could be, because as long as he continues to approach the game the way he has, with the intensity, with the focus, and with the expectation to be a #1 guy, no telling how great he can be.
How much time do you spend at the office? Funny, because a couple days early practice, his brother asked me who was #1.
Yeah, I don't know if I don't think he realized he switched numbers, to be honest with you. Yeah.
But he said he's always at the house, and he know who #1 was. He jumped out and making plays. How much was he at your house?
Yeah, it's crazy. I just was telling Coop this morning. Every year, the guy who I feel like I spend the most time with in the offseason goes and has a huge year. So I don't want to put that pressure on him, but we spend a lot of time together. And last year was CD. I'm not going to say he's going to have a CD-type year as he did last year, but in the past years, I remember when it was Cedric Wilson. You know what I mean? It's usually been a young guy that anytime I send that text message out, they're there. Doesn't matter what time, doesn't matter what day. And that was Tolbert this offseason. And Jalen Brooks as well. I've got to make sure I give him his credit, because his time's going to come and he's going to start making these plays as well. But, yeah, tons. I mean, anytime that I wanted to throw, he was there. And whether that was him adjusting his workout schedule somewhere else to make sure that he could be there and then going to get that done before or after, a credit to him being a pro, him understanding the chemistry that we need to have, and once again, just his expectations of the type of player that he wants to be, and the plays that he wants to make. He's doing everything the right way.
It seemed like you trust him. You're throwing against Bland, and you're making plays against guys with all pros. Yeah,
my trust is super, super high in him. Yeah, I trust him with, any route, wherever it is, against whoever. I don't, honestly, when you have a guy like Tolbert, when you have some of these guys and you've spent that time, you don't really even look across the ball to see who's lined up against him, because it really doesn't matter, because whether it's my footwork, his routes, he understands where he needs to be, the breaking points, the timing, and the windows. And as you consistently make those plays, the less I care who's guarding you.
What's caught your attention about Guyton? I know he wasn't out there today, but what did you like about what you've seen from this?
He's smart. We had a nice little team Jeopardy last night, and he had to spell hippopotamus, and the dude jumped up there and spelled it as fast, without any hesitation, as I've ever seen. And I'm still mind blown, to be honest with you. So his intelligence and confidence, for sure. And obviously that just it's showing on the field too. I mean, the guy's picked up everything that we've thrown at him, obviously from the O-line calls. But then we turn on the tape. Doesn't matter who's on the other side of him. He expects to win that matchup. And whether he does or he doesn't, he comes back the next play with the same mindset, and usually does win at that time. So he's been great. He's been great. I know he's jumped out on tape in different plays, whether it's been against Mike or it's been against D-Law, and those are two of the best ends in the game. So I'm sure that's only raising his confidence up, and he'll continue, I'm sure, to get mixed in there. And, super proud of what he's done and where he's going. And when you can spell like that, once again, I'm not going to put a ceiling on you.
Ultimately, the guy he's replacing, Hall of Famer, right? I mean,
Yeah.
how does he not get caught up in, I have to be Tyron Smith to do it?
He's got to be Tyler Guyton. It doesn't really matter who played here before him. He didn't get to play with him, and I'm sure when he's got here, somebody's probably told him you need to carry the intensity that Tyron has. At the end of the day, you just need to be yourself and the best version of yourself. And he's already showed glimpse of that. And I promise you, if he does that and is the best version of himself, that's more than enough for us. So athletic, super talented guy, as I mentioned, super smart, and as he continues to put it all together, he'll be a big foundation there for us.
You want to spell hippopotamus?
I don't want to give it a shot. Hippo.
Thank you.